Good afternoon. Town is, you perhaps have just heard the panelists up here speaking about the Family Islands. Town is not very different from settlements on the Family Island, except that it is in the capital city of New Providence, capital city of the Bahamas. And it's a small area of the southwestern part of the city. Isolated, we might say, or we sit in a valley, not near the sea as these Family Islanders live on, but we sit in a little enclave all by ourselves. It's an interesting portion of the whole country because most people think that in our country that Baintown is the hind end of the place. And whatever goes wrong in the Bahamas or in Nassau, if a prisoner gets loose or anything goes wrong, they come to Baintown to look for it. There is a saying that, like Nazareth, nothing good can come out of Baintown. That isn't exactly true. We just happen to be a place, a group of people who are independent in nature. And how we got on this island is rather interesting because the whole population is really descended from a group of Africans from Nigeria, from the Yoruba tribe. And you got to be, really, in the olden days, you had to be a real Yoruba to even live in Baintown. Now, the way most of the people in that area got there, they were really intended to be slaves. They were caught in Africa, as really almost all other slaves were caught, transported by ship across the Middle Passage to the United States, where they were intended for Louisiana, Georgia, and the coasts of Virginia, and that kind of places. But in 1807, between 1804 and 1807, the British Parliament pressed through a law banning the transfer or the trafficking in human cargo from Africa to the eastern shores of the United States. And it was a law. And the British at that time had a navy that had some clout on the sea, and they could make it work. And just as they trace down drug dealers now, these British Navy used to stop ships carrying cargo of Africans to the west coast. And if they caught them on this side of the Atlantic, they confiscated the ship, took the passengers off or the cargo off, and set the cargo free on the nearest British island. If they were caught on the other side of the Atlantic, they set the cargo free on a place called Sierra Leone in Africa. And consequently, we who are residents of the Bahamas, a lot of us, especially those of us in Baintown, are the products of that kind of action. And so a lot of us were meant to be slaves, but never got the chance to get to America to be the slaves. So in our little island, there were three kinds of people living. There were the white people who were the owners, mostly of slaves. Then there were the slaves themselves that were slaves. And then there were these freed Africans. Now, island of New Providence has two ranges of hills running east and west in the island. One is in the northern part of the island, and one is in the southern part of the island. And most of us live in between those two hills. So we aren't too accustomed to water. We don't fish. We don't sail boats. Most of us don't know anything about the water. Most of us can't swim. Now, I can swim, but I learned to swim in Alabama. And most of my compatriots couldn't swim. They don't know how to stand up in a boat, and they are afraid of water. However, we lived in this area, and sometimes it could be compared to a settlement, a rural settlement, just as these out island settlements were. We were independent as a people. We were sort of cocky. We didn't like to be bothered by outsiders, and therefore we got the reputation of being rowdy. And we just, nobody would say a Baytown man just wasn't much good. He was rowdy. He didn't take orders well. He just believed in himself, and he always believed in his freedom. Now you could go uptown. He would go uptown and work, and he would work as a laborer. He'd work as an artisan. He would work as a domestic. But when the sun goes down, and they set the sun at the northern hills, and the sun sets in the west, the northern hills, we come over that hill, and we live in an area that we call over the hill. Now that doesn't mean that we're all old, but we're all over the hill. And we live in this area in rather peaceful to ourselves. As you get over the hill, coming from work, you start off on at the foot of nearly every hill, there is a good rum shop. We have many rum shops, and as many shops for rum we can match every rum shop at a church. Life is rather rural in that area, and we wonder sometimes how it got its name, because nobody knew exactly how it got its name until a few years ago. I think Dr. Gail Saunders in his research found that somebody came, a Yoruba, made some money. Oh, I should tell you this before I get into that. These freed Africans were usually taken in by the citizens of the town, and mostly in the early days they became indentured servants. The citizens gave these freed Africans their name, their religion, and their God, and put them up within the bounds of that city. But then they started coming so fast. They were dropping in on our island like Haitians are now dropping in on this country and on our islands. And sooner or later, the town got too congested. So the governor looked out of his window one day and looked down across the south between these two hills, and found that they had a vast, flat area down there. And he sent somebody down there to survey it. And he surveyed an area where we were able to put these freed Africans, cut out plots for them, and let them go down there to multiply and replenish the earth. And a lot of them did that. And he called it Grantstown. Well, after a while, Grantstown got full because we are adept at replenishing the earth. And so we had to find other means of somewhere else to put these people. So coming back to Dr. Saunders' research, some of these fellas got some money. A real Yoruba got some money. And he bought 140 acres of land to the west of Grantstown. And he sold lots to Yorubas. And the only Yorubas he sold lots to, and they called it Baytown. Now, why they call it Baytown, Dr. Saunders hasn't yet told me exactly, but that is what it is now, it's Baytown. Now Baytown is made up of these Yorubas, and there was a time, if you were a genuine Yoruba, you could live on the front street, the main road. And corners went off the main road, shoot off the main roads for about 2 blocks. And the Yorubas filled that area in Baytown. Now, if you were not a Yoruba, if you couldn't prove you were a Yoruba, you lived beyond that area. And we call it Contabutor. Now, I don't know why it's called Contabutor, But we didn't know, we only found the name was Contabula after we got to learn how to read and write. When we grew up, it was Contabula. And all the people who were not real Yorubas had to go in Contabula to live. These people were prejudiced people, these Yorubas. They had no dealings with Congo. We call it, the kind of people in Contabula, we call them Congos. They had no dealings with the Congos, except as to work for them or to pass through Baytown to get to town. No, a good Yoruba man never married a Congo woman, and vice versa. In Baytown, we had substantial people who had fine little homes along the street, beautiful gardens, well-kept yards, small houses but immaculately clean. We had quite a number of children, but most of the fathers in that area went either to Florida to work or they were on the mud, gathering sponge and that kind of thing. So really we had a strong matriarchal society. And you had in that area a certain group of men who were the sort of father figures. They weren't many, but they were strong in their way, and they helped the single parent or the mothers of them bring up their boys and help everybody, as they did on the family, as everybody helped everybody else. But now my father was a minister, and he was a real father figure for the community. He was a Church of God preacher, a very religious man and all that kind, but a very nice, fatherly father. And he was father for nearly all the boys around there. We had a big yard, and nearly all the boys used to play in our yard. So on the first Sunday of every month was Communion Sunday. And then the Saturday just before Communion Sunday, mothers in Baytown from all around would send their boys down to Bishop in his yard for what he called the whipping day. Now my father always figured that any boy who was worth his salt had to have done something in a month's time that deserved a whipping. So all the boys would be gathered in our yard, and my father would whip all the boys on the first Saturday of every month. Now when he whips you, he hits you 3 times with a belt. He turned you loose and gave you a tuppence to buy candy with. So the fellas enjoyed coming down to get their whipping. Their mothers enjoyed sending them, and they enjoyed coming. And so the first Saturday in every month was known as whipping day. And my old man would come up with his belt and whip. Oh, he had a real good time whipping the fellas, and the fellas had a real good time getting the threepences. You want me to say anything else?
You can just give us a little bit more, and then you can go into the storytelling.
I don't live in Baytown now. I moved up. I live in Grantstown. A lot of the people who grew up in Baytown don't live there anymore. Baytown today is not what it was when I was a child, and some other people around here were children. In those days, Baytown was a happy place. Today, it isn't so. I live now in I live in a house by the side of the road where the racist men go by. I live right at the beginning of Grantstown, and right in front of me is a big playground, what we call the government ground. Now when I was a child, we only knew it's the government ground because we didn't know how to say government. But the government made this place for people, the children of the area to play in. My house has a porch, a nice balcony that we could sit on, and it overlooks this playground. And Everything in the world goes on in that playground. You can pass by there on a Sunday afternoon around anytime after 3 o'clock, and you could get going a softball game, a basketball game right behind it. Now, the whole city of Nassau would hold in this mall. So you can tell the distances we have. We don't have that much space. But in this space, you've got a baseball game going on over here, a basketball game going on over here, a church, a good old Anglican church going on over here. And then you would find spectators all around watching these activities. And up the hill would be coming a funeral with a great big band and plenty of regalia and people marching along with their banners going to a funeral. Solemn dirge going up the hill. And up the other hill you'd find another band coming with another funeral. And then you'd find the spectators standing around, and here will come up a hearse. Butler's Funeral Home hearse would come up with a musical hearse playing Finlandia. And in this hearse they would have a coffin. And all of this is going on at the same time. And the driver of the hearse would stop to look at the ball game. Sometimes I wonder if the occupant of the coffin was watching too. And that's going on at the same time. Then another band would come up behind that one. And all sorts of things going on. Now my children grew up there on that porch. But then they got married and left. And every Sunday afternoon, one of them would call and say, "What's going on down there now?" And their mother would rehearse what's going on out there for them. And my daughter used to say, "Daddy, don't ever let's move from here, because everything goes on right out here." Now, more than that goes on. You have sometimes some nocturnal activities. One night, my wife and I had just gone to bed. We go to bed late. And we heard this knocking on our door. Bam, bam, bam. I said, "Now who's this coming at 1 o'clock in the morning knocking on our door?" So ladies all, "Help!" So I looked out there and said, "What do you want?" She says, "A man locked in the trunk of my car, and I need help to get him out." Now my question was, how the hell he got in there in the first place? Next, before we could get down to say anything to her, a fella came by in another car, and he evidently knew about this man in the car. So he stopped, went to his car, got a crowbar, and kept beating on his car, opened the hood, the trunk of the car, and out came a man. Now two men and this woman stood up there for a little while. Then the man who came out of the trunk drove off with the lady in the car. And we always trying to figure out now what she is going to tell her husband. How did this man get locked in the trunk of her car? We never did figure it out, but that kind of thing happens, all sorts of things. Now, another night we heard right up above that, you have some steps going up to a library. And you have a big platform up there. And fellas come up there, to make their nocturnal trysts at night, and they park on this hill. So one night again, my wife and I, before we could go to bed good, we heard it, briggity, 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 briggity. We looked out the window, and sure enough, there was a car rolling down the steps. And then I looked out there, and the fella got out the car, walked around, and looked to see what is going on. And I say, "Darling, you don't know about this, but I'll tell you how that happened. That fella was parked, and his knee hit the brakes." And that car rolled on. So anything could go on around our porch. I live in the house by the side of the road where a race of men go by, and they're going by all night long.
Thank you, Dr. Innes. Perhaps you can tell us one of those Babuki and Barabi stories before you leave.
All of you know about Babuki and Barabi by now. We've been out here telling Babuki and Barabi stories all day. One of my favorite Babuki and Barabi stories I got from Derek Burris. And I'm going to tell it before he tells it, because I can tell it better than he. Now, a bookie, as you know, is a goat. A stupid, ugly, bad-smelling goat. And we call him a bookie because he got bookers, horns. He books you. Now, he lives at Barabi. These are our Bahamian characters, for the characters that you know as Rabbit and Fox and things like that. Barabi is a nice little cuddly rabbit. Soft, smell good, industrious, works and that kind of thing. Now why he wants to live with Babuki, nobody ever found out. But they live together. Now Barabi goes to work every day. Cleans himself up, put on his nice clean clothes, put what that thing you put on the arm, put cologne all around, smell him good, goes to work. But Bookie lays up home in bed, wouldn't do a thing, but mooch on Barabi. So now Barabi one day came home from work all happy, gleeful. He say, but Bookie, guess what? I got a girl. Bookie say, you got a girl? He say, yeah, I got a girlfriend. She lives right up on the hill over there. I'm going to take off my clothes right now, take a bath, and get dressed up, and I'm going courting. So he did that. So now when Barabi had gone, but Bookie jealous, you know, as he always is, he always dirty like that. He said, you know what? I'm going to take that girl from Barabi. And when Barabi goes to work tomorrow, I go up on the hill and let that girl know that Barabi is no man, you know. He is nothing but my cat horse. I just ride him. So the next day, sure enough, he did that. He goes up there and puts this evil in this girl's head about Barabi. So when Barabi came home the next afternoon to dress up and go up to see his girlfriend, he got up on the hill to see his girlfriend, got on all his nice clothes. The girls look at Barabi and say, don't come in here. But Bookie been here today and told us you ain't no man. You're just a cart horse. And we don't want no cart horse cutting our girls around here. Go on back. Now, that makes Barabi vex. So Barabi goes back and say, but Bookie, you've been up on the hill to tell my girlfriend I'm not a man, and I'm your cart horse. Not me. I didn't do a thing like that. He said, yes, my girl ain't gonna lie on you. Only you would do a thing like that. Now you go in with me to tell her you told a lie. But Bookie said, Barabi, I can't go up there with you because I's a sick man in bed. I can't get out of bed to go up there. Barabi said, let me tell you something. You going today if I got to carry you on my back. Say, well, in a case like that, I could try to make it. Then come on, get on my back. He got on Barabi's back. So he said, now Barabi, he can't go like this because I sliding off. I need something to sit in so I can stable myself. He said, you want a saddle leg? Say, yeah, then put the saddle on. Let's say, put on the saddle. So he got in the saddle. He said, but Barabi, you know, but my disease, blood run down my leg and my foot gets heavy, like I need something to rest my feet in. So Barabi said, okay, you want the stirrups? Say, yeah, put on the stirrups. He said, wait a minute, you know, Barabi, my illness make my head giddy. And, you know, I swinging back and forth, I need something to hold on. You say, all right, you want something to hold on, you want the rein on. Say, all right, put a rein in Barabi's mouth and got on, let's say, got on there. Next thing you know, you say, well, Barabi, you know, you need a little energy to get up this hill, you know, you better let me put on some spurs. So you say, all right, put on the spurs. So next thing you know, you all set. Then they go, let's go now, you got to go. So he goes riding up this hill, boy. Riding up the hill, he's riding on Barabi's back. So when they got to the top of the hill, Barabi said, get off now. He said, but Barabi, I can't get off now because, I can't walk that distance. He said, go a little further. So he got up there, got a little further up the hill, that's where the girls could see him riding on Barabi's back. And he rubbed it and say, See here what I tell you? Didn't I tell you he's my cart horse? He had to ride him. Boy, Robbie got so vexed. Then he got off the rabbit, tied the rein around the tree. Tied it tight, tight, tight. But Robbie got so vexed, he turned blue. He grabbed that rein and he pulled it so hard. The rein stopped and hit me right in my mouth here to make me come here and tell you all this lie.
Let's hear it for Dr. Cleveland Innes, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Dr. Innes, and thank you, Jolton Johnson, too. A hand for Jolton Johnson for leading this good workshop.
We always had some... Not as shiny as satin though.
You need to get on the other side of Go down some more. Go down some more. Let's do the board. Do the board. Hey, do the board. Okay, bad boy. Hold them there. On the banner.
Yes, I am.
They need some for people on the side.
Is that very long? All right, there he is. He's the leader of another group. Yeah. I don't know. Just hold the banner. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Talk it there. Talk it there. Say one talk out.
Okay, yeah, we got that here.
Do it. In the back.
All right, here. They're all parked.
Yeah, broken. By and by. By and by. You see how I play it?
Yeah, I see, yeah.
I doing it so for you to see the chord, how to get it.
Yeah.
You put that mic in closer to you. It's soft. Put the mic in closer.
Wrong. By and by. Oh Lord, by and by. Glory. Hallelujah. But when I lay my burden down, glory. Hallelujah. When I lay my burden down, happy burden, the happy burden. When I lay my burden down, happy burden, happy burden. When I lay, I was standing by my window on a cool and cloudy day. My beam keep on rolling. He can carry my mother's home. I build a cycle, being broken by and by, but by and by, build a cycle, being broken by and by, oh yes, by and by.
Good boy, yeah.
If I had you right, you would learn that directly, and it wouldn't be long.
Yeah.
When I learn you that, I learn you some more. I like go to church, you know. I used to play dancing tune and thing. I used to go. But it be so much problem and trouble in the dance place, people drinking liquor and doing things, so I stop it. Yeah, I stop.
Yeah.
I don't go no more. I go to church. I listen to church tune, believe it or not.
Okay.
Double repeat on a 4/4 time beat. How can it be that I shall think? Sing.
No spare it going. No spare it going.
Yeah.
You can learn it, you know.
Yeah.
You be around me, you will learn it.
I know, but I could sit here and listen to it. Checks in a second.
You were recording that?
Yeah, man. I didn't know that. Now you're recording.
Oh, Jesus, let me learn more of His in the truth, more of His love and grace, more of His love, who died for more, Jesus. Love who died more able Jesus.
I love that rhythm, the moves. So can you play a song you wrote? Play a song.
I got some home, but I can't remember them here.
You remember them in your head? Yeah.
I got them home.
Yeah.
I mean home in Nassau.
Yeah. I saw, yeah. That was
Oh, but they'd be happy meeting one night. Oh, but that'll be happy union day. Wonderful day. This and glorious day. Oh, but that'll be happy union day. Santa live a million years and depart, baby. Now but to the holy city, with hard and red white. Now but that'll be happy union day. Glad day, wonderful day. Glad day, some glorious day. But glad day, wonderful day. some glorious day. Rabba-dabby-dabby union, yeah. If you be around me, you'll learn.
Yeah.
You know that? He coming now. He's learning it.
And I tell you can do it.
He's got to listen to the master, and then, you know.
All you have to do is catch the sound of this into your head, and then you'll do it.
Yeah.
See, this is a master chord.
Yeah.
There's not everybody can play it.
Yeah. Sure. I know. Yeah.
You had to pick people to play this chord in the guitar. This is a master guitar chord.
It's a spirit chord.
And the Savior was you did divine. only can do. I really open his heart to the king. You learn it.
Oh, yeah.
You got all the E shape for it, and you will learn it.
But I got.
But it's a master chord.
Occasional check. Yeah, just make sure it's still running.
Man say you going at 1 o'clock. Oh, damn, that's 12 o'clock.
What was the one? Let's see. That night of the
He
rehearsal.
say you going at
played.
1 o'clock. I won't go to one shop. I won't go downtown to one shop. That's where I won't go. And they ain't going to shop. I ain't going. I had to buy you something at the car back for my wife to see.
You better do that.
It's the right way to do it.
That's right.
But now how I can get to town? That's what worry me.
That's what they're going, right?
They're going to the president's house. I see that a lot of times.
Yeah.
I've been waiting here for Hitler war, and I knew. And for them, this is for those who just come.
Yeah.
I've been here a long time.
Been a long time.
I know the house long time.
Yeah.
See? Not just now, a long time. From 1943, when Hitler was in the swing, I was coming here.
Yeah.
Waking all through this country.
Doing what were you doing then?
On the farm, in the factory, all about that been.
Doing farm work? Yeah.
My favorite song, man. You play my song.
What your song is?
You know my favorite song?
Oh, the reckless wind keep blowing on down. Reckless wind keep blowing down. Reckless wind keep blowing down. But the reckless wind keep blowing down. Then God sent Jonah to Nineveh land, but Jonah disobeyed the Lord's command. The reckless wind keep blowing down, but the reckless wind the Lord's command. The Lord's command. Reckless wind, man. But the reckless wind keep blowing down. But the captain went to the bottom of the ship. Jonah was laying right off his land. The reckless wind keep blowing down. But the reckless wind, oh, the wind keep tumbling down. Keep blowing down. The reckless wind keep blowing down. disobey the Lord's command. But the captain said, what I gonna do with you? But the reckless wind come blowing down. The reckless wind come blowing down. The reckless wind keep blowing down. The reckless wind. Oh, the reckless wind. Oh, the wind keep tumbling down. Then he cast right at you, right in the sea. Was a great big fish by the name of the whale. But he swallowed right at Jonah from his head to his tail. But the reckless wind, oh, the wind keep blowing down. You can lie, you know. He have a good head.
I didn't tell you that. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go to the White House. I want you to stay young. Huh? I want you to stay young.
Where's that song from?
Home.
Oh, yeah?
That's an anthem to sing that in the rhyme.
Oh, yeah? Because I never heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I know that from my boy.
Oh, yeah? Really? You don't know who wrote that one? Just who,
Huh?
You don't know who made that one up?
No, I don't
It
know.
was just around, yeah.
I know everybody singing it.
Everybody's singing. Yeah. And then they rhyme it?
Mm-hmm, they rhyme it.
Yeah.
You know something with the rhyming too.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that song.
You like that?
Yeah,
Have you listened to the night of the phone?
yeah. Yeah.
I know you would appreciate it.
Yeah, I do Out in the Rolling Sea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the rolling sea, on the rolling sea, out on the rolling sea, let it roll. I was down on my knee when Jesus speak to me. I was down on my knee when he called. I've been down on my knee when Jesus speak to me. Now but out on the rolling sea, let it roll. On the rolling sea when Jesus speak to me. On the rolling sea, let it roll. On the rolling sea when Jesus speak to me. On the rolling sea when he rolls. On the rolling sea when Jesus speak to me.
Hey, you going up there going to
Yeah, that's a nice one.
You have to practice it, you know. You get your good song, what you know, and you practice. You see, you when you get lying something, you know when you made your mistake.
Absolutely. That's
But if you ain't lying, you don't never know mistake. But the time you see you make a mistake in the chord, you get lying. That's the way lying is.
Now, do you play any ring play songs?
Dancing song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play them.
Like, play one, like what?
My brown skin gal.
Brown skin gal, go home and mind baby. Mama gonna be on a sailing boat, but if he don't come back, take care of my town.
Yeah, yeah.
I can how I can get to town.
Yeah, that's. Did you find out if anybody's who's going when? But they're gonna leave at 1?
Now I go to town to shop. I won't.
No, they're supposed to shop too. They're supposed to go shopping too.
They're supposed to shop too?
Yeah, they're supposed to shop too.
But not till 1.
1 o'clock you go to see the thing and then afterwards.
Which town they gonna carry me to now? I walk in one town somewhere here. I almost die. Just a tie I didn't dare. Man, the sun was so hot. When I get back on the mall, I said, and I look. I said, well, this couldn't be me. I ain't gonna get no more. I almost die. The building them is up and I walk in the street between, and no wind coming down in there at all.
That's right. That's right.
How do people live? How do people live? That's what I wonder, how do people live like that?
They just pass through, man. They just pass through.
I can't stay a place like that.
Yeah.
I got trouble to live here.
That's right.
See where I live. I live right on the beach. That's the ocean right there. One big long beach, 3 mile long or 4 mile long. I jump out of the house. Like with me now, ain't far as where them people there from the sea. They're right there. In the summertime, I open the glass, up the glass, and the cool breeze blowing through the spring. I go to sleep.
Don't worry, you'll be home soon.
Huh?
You're making me want to go home now.
Man, when I get down between them buildings, I think it was Saturday, I almost collapsed. I don't know what's going on.
It's another.
Too hot.
See, where I live, the sun hot. I know some days 90 degree or 95 degree, but I don't feel it.
No, that's the breeze
Sea
blowing.
breeze.
See, I built my house. I have an acre of ground. Coconut trees on that side, coconut trees on this side, and my house set in the middle. You see? And my shipyard where I built my boat that sat on the tree. And I go on the tree and I sat down. Then I have some cedar tree, I clip them. And they grow short and you can go and even spray the bed and lay down in the summer. It's so cool, nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go downtown, I'm almost dead. I don't know.
That's an experience.
Yeah. I like that I could hear the water. Every time the sea do like that in my bed, I can hear it.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Here.
Now, you see, one time the storm was coming in the yard.